Tell me this will not happen to us. An elderly woman called 911 on her cell phone to report her car was broken into. She hysterically explains the situation to the dispatcher. They have stolen the stereo, the steering wheel, the brake pedal, and even the accelerator is missing, she cried. The dispatcher asked her to stay calm. An officer is on the way. A few minutes later, the officer radios in, disregard the call, explaining she was in the back seat by mistake. Tell me this will not happen to us. 3 sisters ages 92, 94 and 96, all living in a 3-bedroom house together. One night the 96-year-old draws a bath. She puts her foot in the water and pauses. Then yells to the other sisters, "Was I getting in or out of the bath?" The 94-year-old yells back, "I am not sure, I will be up to see." She starts up the stairs and pauses, "Was I going up the stairs or down?" Sitting at the kitchen table having tea listening is the 92-year-old sister. She shakes her head and says, "I sure hope I never get as forgetful as you two, knock on wood." She then yells up, "I will be right up to help both of you, right after I see who is at the door." Tell me this will not happen to us. 3 retirees each suffering from a slight hearing loss. While playing golf one fine March day, one remarked to the other, "Windy, isn't it?" Who replied, "No, it is Thursday." The third man then chimed in, "So am I, let's have a beer." Tell me this will not happen to us. A little old elderly woman was walking up and down the halls in a nursing home. As she walked, she would flip up the hem of her nightgown and say, "Super sex." She then walked up to an elderly man in a wheelchair. Flipping her gown, she said, "Super sex." He sat silently for a moment or two. He then finally answered, "I will take the soup." Tell me this will not happen to us. 2 elderly ladies had been friends for many decades. Over the years, they had shared all kinds of activities and adventures. Lately, their activities had been limited to meeting a few times a week playing cards. One day while playing cards, one looked at the other and said, "Now do not get mad at me. I know we have been friends for a long time, but I just cannot think of your name. I have thought and thought, but I cannot remember. Please tell me your name." Her friend glared at her for at least 3 minutes, she just staring and glaring at her. Finally she said, "How soon do you need to know?" Tell me this will not happen to us. A senior citizen was driving down the freeway when his car phone rang. Answering, he heard his wife urgently warning him, "Herman, I just heard on the news there is a car going the wrong way on Interstate 77. Please be careful." "Ah, heck," said Herman, "it is not just one car. There are hundreds of them." Tell me this will not happen to us. 2 elderly women were out driving in a large car. Both could barely see over the dashboard. As they were cruising along, they came upon an intersection. The stoplight was red, but they just went on through. The woman in the passenger seat thought to herself, "I must be losing it. I could have sworn we just went through a red light." After a few minutes they came to another intersection and the light was red. Again, they went right through. The woman in the passenger seat was almost sure the light was red and was really concerned she was losing it. She was getting nervous. At the next intersection, sure enough, the light was red and they went on through. So, she turned to the other woman and said, "Mildred, did you know we just ran through 3 red lights in a row? You could have killed us both." Mildred turned to her and said, "Oh, crap, am I driving?"